guys, Trin here, and welcome back to my A Guide to Different Asian Drama Actors little series that I have been doing, which I think is what I'm going to call it, because originally I was just going to do like Thai BL couples and that was it, but I decided I wanted to do K-drama actors and C-drama actors as well, and today is going to be a complete guide to Song Weilong. So if you've been wanting to get into him, you are unsure where to start, well, in this video this is going to be all about him and every single show that he has been in, minus reality shows. I don't include those. I'm only talking about all of his fictional works. So if you are interested in Song Weilong, then let's jump right into it. So this is Song Weilong's basic information you can pause to read if you would like. I'm also just going to mention here his debut role. So this was a bit different from the Zhang Linghe version of this video that I did. Zhang Linghe's debut role was like a main role. Song Weilong's was a supporting role for the second season of Demon Girl, which came out in 2016. It says like the story picks up from where season 1 left off, and the blurb says more than just that. But I won't read you the blurb for this one because it might spoil season 1. Like, I think if you want to get into Demon Girl, you should watch season 1 first. But Song Weilong only has a supporting role. His character is Ying Long, and I'm unsure how much screen time that he gets. But this was his debut role, and hey, you gotta start somewhere. The second show he ever did, called Long for You, which came out in 2017, sees Song Weilong finally get a main role. He plays the character Go Shu-yi. Now, the blurb says, Zhu Ji is an immortal girl. Rescued by alien powers, she has been traversing the earth for centuries. Desensitized, frosty, and indifferent on the inside, despite the bright smiles that play on her lips, she only lives with the goal of finding her first love from 1,000 years ago. Finally, she meets Go Shi-yi, a man carrying her love's face, but his love is different than that of the former, rekindling her passion and enthusiasm for life, and perhaps unraveling the knot from many centuries ago. So this one seems like modern fantasy, which I will admit I've not seen a ton of those around. So if you're interested in like a modern fantasy, I recommend giving this one a go. The next show is called Untouchable Lovers. This is a historical show that came out in 2018 where our main man plays Rongji. So the blurb says, Tanji Tower, the dominant force in the martial world, aims to overthrow the tyrant Lu Ziyi of the Lu Song dynasty. They replace his sister, Lu Chu-yu, with their disciple, Zhu Qi, who resembles the princess. Zhu Qi meets Rongji, a spy from the Northern Wei. Misunderstandings and divided loyalties cause a rift between Lu Chu-yu and Rongji, who fakes his death to seek her forgiveness. 5 years later, with their memories erased, they meet again when Chu-yu is sent to marry Northern Wei's Prince Regent, who is now Rongji. So this one is giving political, historical, clearly also a romance. This is one of his older shows. Back then it seemed that he was only doing like one show a year. As we get a little further on this list, you'll see that he has like multiple shows a year as he gets more popular. Next, we have one of 4 shows that he did in 2020 called Find Yourself. It's a modern show where our main man plays Yuan Song. So, the blurb says a love story between an accomplished career woman and a younger man. He Fangjing's company is at risk of being acquired while her relationship with Yuan Song faces societal pressures due to their age difference. The consecutive blows in her work and love life push her to an emotional quagmire, and it is during this time that Yi Lu Min enters her life. Being older in age, he is mature, stable, and knowledgeable. He becomes He Fanjin's life coach and the source of conflict between the couple. For He Fanjing, it's not merely a matter of choosing the man that she loves, but considering the contradictions of adopting the traditional mindset on marriage. This show I think would be a good one to watch as like a palate cleanser in between any more of the heavier shows that are most likely going to be on this list. Next is the second of 4 shows he did in 2020, a modern show called Beautiful Reborn Flower, where our main man plays Ling He Ping. So the blurb says, the painter Nan Shen fell in love with Ling He Ping, her father's lover's son. This sadistic love finally led to Nan Shen's suicide, in quotation marks. Many years later, Ling He Ping, who is already a famous curator, met a girl named Xiao Man in Barcelona. Xiao Man and Nan Shen are not only alike in appearance, but also have a mysterious connection. In the end, can Xiao Man and He Ping touch the flowers on the other side of love? Ooh, this one seems like it might have a little bit of a magical realism element to it, perhaps. But still mostly a modern show, I believe, because in the poster, Song Weilong is not wearing one of them long wigs. Next is the third of the 4 shows that he did in 2020. This one's a historical show called In a Class of Her Own, where our main man plays Fen Chen Jun. So the blurb says, the daughter of an impoverished family, Zhu Wenji knows all about hardship. Willing to do whatever it takes to help take care of her beloved family, Wenji has gone to extreme lengths to make ends meet. This is why, when an opportunity to take work as a writer presented itself, she willingly took the job, even though doing so meant she had to disguise herself as a boy. The ruse seemed innocent enough, until the day the Prime Minister's son, Fen Chen Jun, walked into her life. Impressed by Wenji's work, Fen Chen Jun sets a plan in motion that leaves Wenji no choice but to enroll in the esteemed Yunshan Academy. As a school that only accepts male students, Wenji has no choice but to continue disguising herself as a boy. Taking her brother's name, Wenji, now Wenbin, spends every moment of her life terrified of having her secret revealed. Despite her fears, Wenji thrives in her scholaristic environment. Using her wit, kindness, and charms, Wenji earns the respect and friendship of a trio of fellow scholars who together become known as the Yunshan Quartet. With faithful friends by her side and a newfound love growing in her heart, Wenji finds the strength to face the hardship that inevitably come her way. But will this newfound strength crumble once her darkest secrets are revealed? So, this is a historical show, but a lighter hearted historical show. So very different from something like Pursuit of Jade, where it's about war. I don't think there's any war in sight in this one. So this could be again like a fun little palette cleanser show. If you're somebody that prefers darker shows, if you're someone that prefers lighthearted shows, then you're just gonna like this one anyway. As for the last show we did in 2020, it's a modern show. It's called Go Ahead, and our main man plays Ling Zhao. So the blurb says, three troubled youths, each from a dysfunctional household, find comfort in each other and form a chosen family. Eldest brother Ling Zhao, second brother He Zikui, and youngest sister Li Jianjian grow up together, supporting one another through life's highs and lows. After high school, Ling Zhao and He Zikui return to their biological families. 9 years later, the three reunite, but unresolved pasts continue to haunt them. Can they confront their personal struggles and become better versions of themselves, or will their histories define them forever? This one also seems like it might be a bit different. It's giving ensemble and giving more like, I think it's just a show about friendship. I'm not entirely sure if there is a romance in this one. There might be, but like I am unsure. Also does says two versions available, 46 episodes TV version or 40 episodes online version. His next show wasn't until 2023 because, COVID. Anyway, it's called A League of Noblemen. It is another historical show where our main man plays Zhang Ping. So, blurb says Zhang Ping, an impoverished orphan from a rural area, moves to Beijing to take the civil service exam, but ends up selling noodles on the street. Despite his unsophisticated manners, he is sharp and inquisitive, naturally skilled at solving puzzles. Meanwhile, Lanju, a well mannered minister with a hidden past, is investigating a case. Their paths cross, and despite initial misunderstandings, Zhang Ping helps Lanju solve it, inadvertently learning his secret. This marks the start of a unique partnership where the two men, despite their differences, unite to solve mysteries, including the truth behind Lanju's father's death and uncovering corruption in the royal court. Now, whether this is BL or just a bromance, I am unsure because I know that China likes to heavily censor things. Like, I know that there's a really, really popular Chinese show called The Untamed, which is a live action adaptation of Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, which is a BL. Like, I know that that's a BL. But I heard that with that one, they heavily watered it down so they just looked like really good friends. And I have not watched A League of Noblemen, so whether it is a bromance or whether it is a BL, I am unsure. But this one has two starring men. There is no starring girl in this one, just so that you are aware. The next show he did was in 2023. It is called The Bionic Life, where our main man plays Chen Nuo, which says in 2035, the world is populated by humanoid robots indistinguishable from humans, causing public unrest. When a series of android murders occurs, the Mingmao organization dispatches investigators Chen Nuo and An Chi to solve the case. Chen Nuo's cool demeanor complements An Chi's exceptional empathy as they delve into the investigation. uncovering the blurred lines between human and android existence. As they navigate the complex landscape of these mysterious killings, the duo must confront profound questions about identity, consciousness, and the nature of life itself. This one actually sounds really interesting because it's supposedly futuristic. I mean, it's not that futuristic. It's 9 years from now. Um, it's about, I think it's about like 11 or 12 years from when it was filmed. 9 years from now, but this was back in 2023. So maybe like, yeah, like 11 years from then when it was filmed. But it is definitely giving like it's futuristic. There were robots in it. I would actually be very interested in checking this one out myself. Rightio, time to get in to the 4 shows that he did in 2025. For some reason, I think he just took a break and didn't make a show in 2024. Anyways, the first of these 4 shows is Everlasting Longing. This is a historical show where our main man plays Juan Li. So, blurb says, to outsiders in the Yamen region and beyond, Jun Chi Lu is Jun Fei Fan, the illegitimate son of the family, at a time when women weren't considered anything but mere window dressing. She is a creative genius that has held her family business together to help them and her king through various intelligent investigations way beyond their time. The business is booming, making her male persona a household name far and wide. Juan Li is a royal general from a neighboring and unrestful Bejuan. He is seeking the truth of his parents' murder while also trying to win the Wolf Lord competition, making his quest easier and reuniting all of the clans in peace. He believes Zheng Feifan has knowledge and wants to capture him to get an explanation, not knowing the truth. Their paths cross one day, and through a series of events that involve kidnapping, misunderstandings, hidden agendas, bickering, and wit, as with slow and unmistakable chemistry, they are drawn towards each other like moths to a flame. But there are many that lie in wait from both sides, trying to harm and take advantage. What will happen when Junchi Lu's identity is exposed? Will a deep wedge be driven between them by those trying to harm them? How will they deal with both their deep love and secrets swirling around? And will their everlasting longing for one another bring them the answers, peace, and justice they both so desperately need? Yeah, so this one is a historical show, and I love historical shows, so I will definitely be checking this one out. The second show that Song Weilong did in 2025 is called Youthful Glory. It's another historical show where he plays Jianzhu. So, says in the 11th year of Chen Kan, Prince Jianzhu of Dinbei, who had guarded the border for 8 years, returned to the Dajian dynasty to investigate the case of embezzlement of military pay for the Dinbei army. Unexpectedly, there were many connections behind the corruption case. In order to find out the real culprit as soon as possible and clear the court, Jianzhu volunteered to marry Mintan, who was also a general's daughter, so that the Min family would not be exploited. As the conspiracy was gradually revealed, Jianzhu discovered that the murderer's corruption was related to the economic lifeline of the entire Dajian dynasty, and he had to pull out all the stops and uproot all those related to him in the dynasty. Unexpectedly, the Min family was framed due to Jian Zhu's thorough investigation, and their family was ruined. So this is another historical show. This one does sound like it's going to be a little bit more action-packed, so for anyone that loves a good action-packed show, obviously don't quote me, I haven't watched it, but to me it's giving action-packed. So you might like it, depending on what your vibe is. The third show that he did in 2025 is called The Seven Relics of Three Omen, where he plays Lu Ren, or Radish is his nickname. So Bleb says, in ancient times, a mysterious substance descended upon Fenzi Ridge, capable of pararistic invasion. It twisted the human heart and lured its host towards evil. Now these relics of omen have re-emerged, unleashing a series of bizarre and gruesome murders. 5 ordinary yet passionate young people, Lu Ren, Mu Dai, Yu Wan San, Yang Hon Sha, and Cao Yanghua, are drawn into this crisis through their own faithful encounters. They form the Phoenix Squad and embark on a perilous quest to subdue these 7 omens. Amid life and death trials, Lu Ren and Mu Dai heal each other's wounds and form a genuine bond that transcends friendship. Though a long and arduous journey fraught with danger, the 5 overcome relentless challenges, and their friendship is tested and deepened in the fires of adversity. So this one's giving ensemble show, also fantasy, but it's not necessarily historical, I don't think, because Song Weilong's not wearing one of them wigs. But honestly, a modern fantasy, actually not that I would say that this is a modern show, but just like a fantasy sort of show where they don't have to wear the long wigs because it's not historical would be interesting to watch. Like, this one I actually have huge interest in starting. Lastly, for 2025, we have one of his most known shows, a modern show. It's called Shine On Me, where Soilong does play Lin Yun Sen. So the blurb says, the story follows the lively and energetic university student Nai Ji Guan as she steps out of campus and navigates the challenges of the professional world. During university, she experiences a bittersweet crush on the aloof yet brilliant top student Zhan Zhu. However, upon entering the workforce, she crosses paths with Lin Yusen, a former surgeon turned solar energy industry elite. Despite initial misunderstandings, Lin Yusen is irresistibly drawn to Naiji Guan's radiant and warm personality. With his unwavering love and support, she lets go of past regrets and embraces the love she has always longed for. Okay, this one just sounds like it's going to be super cute, super, super sweet. I do have interest in watching this one. I have heard a lot of good reviews for it. It's one of Song Weilong's most, praised shows. Supposedly, he got a lot of, praise and accolades for this one, I believe. So I would be interested in giving this one a go. Now, I've got 2 shows left. Both of them came out in 2026. One's already out, one's upcoming for the latter half of the year. So, for the one that's already come out, it's called The Eternal Fragrance, a historical show where our main man plays Li Zhu Yan / Yi Shua, so 2 names. Let's read the blurb. When a sea meteorite brings the mythical Jamnu tree, its fruit capable of granting ultimate power, plunges immortals, demons, and monsters into a bloody war. A century later, Zhao Benchui, an orphan from Sing seeks belonging and strength by joining Chu Fen Academy. There she meets Le Yuan, a steadfast young man carrying the burden of saving his gravely ill elder brother. Their bond grows from friendship into love as they face the trials of the academy together. Zhao Banchui's life takes a dramatic turn when she transforms into Jian Li Fei, a figure of extraordinary power. Her newfound abilities and mysterious origins draw the attention of powerful factions, forcing her to confront her destiny. Lei Zhuyan, loyal and unwavering, stands by her through every peril, protecting her as they uncover the truth of her lineage. Together they face rejection from society and unravel the secrets of their shared fates. In the end, Zhao Bangchui sacrifices everything to restore balance to the three realms, with Le Junyan as her devoted ally in the ultimate battle against destiny. Honestly, this sounds so good. Like, this one's actually finally giving a historical show for him that might have a war plotline. So I'm so here for this one, and if you're anything like me, you're gonna love this one. Lastly, is that upcoming show, which I have just found out is actually currently airing because the first episode came out on the 5th of July, so it's not over yet. It hasn't completely come out, but it is coming out. Now, this one is set in the 1990s, which, oh, that actually sounds so interesting. Anyway, our main man plays Chen Yi. Blurb says in the late 1990s, Miao Jin and Chen Yi are brought together by their parents' new relationship. The two become siblings, but Chen Yi, still grieving the loss of his mother, is hostile towards Miao Jin, who he sees as an intruder in his family. After a violent incident with his father, Miao Jin's kindness towards Chen Yi touches him and their relationship slowly shifts. Their lives are upended after the death of their father and disappearance of their mother, and the two become dependent on each other for survival. Through years of hardship, their feelings grow. But just before the college entrance exam results come out, Chen Yi becomes embroiled in a smuggling and arson case. In an attempt to keep Miao Jin safe, he forces her to leave Chen and the two go their separate ways. Many years later, they are reunited and old emotions come flooding back. Right, so I got it wrong. I think it starts in the 1990s, but I believe it's when they're children. So I think this is a modern show. I'm going to call it a modern show. So, because many years later they are reunited and old emotions come flooding back was like the end of the blurb right there. This sounds so cool. This sounds like, even though it's modern, it's going to be dark and gritty. And I love me a dark and gritty show. Like, don't you worry. I am so here for this. I am so here for this. I really want to watch this. Like, and for a modern show to have me interested, because I've decided and noticed with Chinese shows, I prefer historical ones because I think that they are darker and grittier, or if they're at least not dark and gritty, they'll be action packed. Um, so what I love about this one is that it's giving dark and gritty. So I'm very excited about this one actually. I'm gonna wait until it's like completely finished airing because then I can just binge it or whatever. I also gotta finish like my current watch first as well because I am in the middle of Kill Me Love Me. That's my current show, which I am adoring. But I know I watch like 50 million shows at once, but I think with the Chinese ones, I want to stick to like just one at a time so I don't get confused with the plots. But I do heavily want to watch this one because it sounds so good. After reading that blurb, it just sounds so good. And cannot wait to watch this one. But basically, that is it. That's absolutely everything that Song Weilong has done. He's been in the industry for a while, but I've noticed he films in bulk. Like, okay, so he had one show in 2016, one show 2018, sorry, one show 2017, one show 2018, then 4 shows 2020, 2 shows 2023, 4 shows 2025, and so far 2 shows 2026. But yep, that is it. That's every single show that Song Long has done. Let me know if you've watched any of these, which one's your favourite, which one should I be prioritising. I know there are definitely some ones that I'm prioritising, like Shine On Me and both of the 2026 shows. But let me know if any of his earlier ones should be ones that I prioritize as well. If you were to rank these shows, how would you rank them? I'd be curious to know. But yep, that's basically it. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this helped you out if you wanted to get into So Long. If you just wanted to know all of his shows, hopefully this helped you out because this is all of his shows in one video. But yep, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you love a good Chinese drama as much as me, I would consider subscribing. I make videos about dramas, all types of dramas, not just Chinese ones, mainly Asian dramas though, so like Korean dramas, Thai dramas, all the dramas. But yep, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys.